Have you ever lain awake at night wondering, how did the person you trusted most become the one who betrayed you? The pain of deception isn't just emotional, it hits your soul, your self-worth, your peace. But what if the true healing begins not with them, but with you? This is not a story of revenge. It's a journey inward, to reclaim your power, to remove the toxic habits that keep you chained to a ghost. Welcome to your Stoic path. Welcome to self-mastery. 1. The silent suffering. When you're with someone deceitful, the betrayal doesn't always scream at you. It whispers. It hides in half-truths, missing calls, and gut feelings you ignore. But Stoicism teaches us this. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. The first step? Accept that pain is not punishment. It's awakening. Let go of the need to justify their lies. You owe no one your silence, but you owe yourself your peace. 2. Eliminate the habit of over-explaining. Cheaters are master manipulators. They twist reality. And often, you find yourself explaining your feelings, your reactions, even your suspicions. Stop. A Stoic doesn't beg to be understood by the unreasonable. You are not on trial. When someone violates trust, they should explain, not you. Your peace doesn't need their approval. Only your own clarity. 3. Remove the fantasy of who they were. You're not in love with who they are. You're mourning who you thought they were. The mind clings to potential. It remembers the smiles, the I love yous, the way they held you at 2 a.m. But here's the truth. That version of them was borrowed. A mask. Let it go. As Epictetus wrote, don't hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. Only then do you make space for truth and peace. 4. Eliminate the urge to seek closure. They won't give you the closure you want, because their ego needs to escape blame. Understand this. Closure isn't something they give. It's something you create. Sit with the discomfort. Write it out. Speak it into silence. And walk forward, quietly, confidently. The most powerful revenge is no longer needing to understand why. 5. Cut the habit of monitoring them. Social media stalking. Checking if they're online. Wondering who liked their story. This is mental poison. The Stoics remind us. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. Every time you check their life, you abandon your own. Choose your mind. Choose freedom. 6. Eliminate the fear of being alone. Loneliness isn't a curse. It's the soil where self-love grows. Being alone after betrayal feels like exile. But in Stoicism, solitude is sacred. A time to rebuild, without noise. When you fear being alone, you tolerate mistreatment. Don't settle for company that costs your soul. 7. Remove self-blame. You'll wonder, was I not enough? Stop. Their choices reflect them. Not your worth. Not your body. Not your love. A Stoic doesn't internalize the chaos of others. They remain anchored in truth. Your value isn't reduced by someone's inability to recognize it. 8. Eliminate gossip and bitterness. You'll want to talk, to vent, to rage. But constant gossip keeps the wound open. Talk to heal, not to poison. Bitterness is a slow death. Forgiveness is freedom, not for them, but for you. Be like the Stoics, calm, composed, indestructible. 9. Stop seeking revenge. You'll fantasize about karma. You'll want them to hurt. But revenge binds you to them. Let them live with the choices they made. Stoic peace is letting go, not because they deserve it, but because you do. 10. Eliminate the version of you that allowed this. This is the hardest one. To let go of who you were. The version of you that ignored the signs. That loved blindly. That stayed too long. But instead of shame, choose growth. Become someone who sets boundaries. Who commands respect. Who walks away the first time trust is broken. You don't need them. You need you. Pain changes you. Let it shape you, not into someone bitter, but someone unshakable. In silence, in stillness, the Stoic rises. You've eliminated the noise. Now step into your peace. Quiet. Clear. Unbreakable. Part 2. 10 more things to quietly let go of after betrayal, a Stoic's path to healing, power, and inner peace. Betrayal is not just an ending. It's a mirror. A reflection of everything you ignored, tolerated, or accepted in the name of love. But there's beauty in destruction. Because from it, the strongest version of you is forged. This is not just about letting go of them. It's about quietly letting go of what no longer belongs in your future. This is part 2 of your Stoic path. Let's continue. 1. Let go of seeking validation. After betrayal, you may question yourself. Was I attractive enough? Smart enough? Fun enough? This hunger for external validation is a trap. You give others the power to define your worth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Validation is not oxygen. You're already enough, even if no one claps. 2. Eliminate the habit of self-neglect. While loving them, you forgot to love yourself. Your health, your passions, your peace. Now, you must become your own protector. Get back to nourishing your soul. Exercise. Eat clean. Rest. A Stoic knows. If you don't make time for wellness, you'll be forced to make time for suffering. 3. Let go of hoping they'll change. You loved their potential. You stayed for who they could be. But people don't change unless they want to. Hope is beautiful, but blind hope is dangerous. Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary, suffers more than is necessary." Stop suffering over someone else's unwillingness to grow. That's not your responsibility anymore. 4. Release the fear of starting over. Starting over feels like failure. Like all your love was wasted. But it wasn't. Even pain is a teacher. Every ending is a beginning. For someone wiser, stronger, clearer. The Stoic doesn't fear the unknown. They embrace it with calm confidence. 5. Let go of the past narrative. You've repeated the story 100 times in your mind. The lies. The discovery. The betrayal. Stop. The story served its purpose. Now it imprisons you. Rewrite the script. You are not a victim. You are a survivor, evolving. What happened happened. What happens next is yours to write. 6. Eliminate comparison. You see them with someone new. You wonder, are they happier? Is she prettier? Smarter? Stop comparing. You are not them. And their new chapter is not your story. Comparison robs you of peace. True peace is knowing you don't compete with anyone, only your former self. 7. Let go of forgiving too quickly. Forgiveness is noble. But rushed forgiveness? That's self-betrayal. You're allowed to be angry, to grieve, to process. The Stoics taught us to pause. Not react, but reflect. Forgive when you're ready. Not because they ask, but because you're done holding the pain. 8. Release the fantasy of closure through contact. You might text them, hoping for clarity. A final talk. A clean goodbye. But the truth is, most conversations after betrayal reopen wounds. Stoics don't chase answers from chaos. They create closure through silence. Because no response is a response. 9. Let go of entitlement to justice. You want justice. For the lies. For the betrayal. For the time you can't get back. But justice doesn't always arrive. Not on your schedule. The Stoic lets go of revenge, not because they approve of injustice, but because peace matters more than control. You move on, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. 10. Let go of the identity that needs to be loved. The deepest truth? You tied your identity to being loved. And when that love turned to betrayal, you questioned who you are. Now is the time to unlearn, to rebuild. You don't need to be loved to be valuable. You don't need a partner to feel whole. You only need to love yourself radically and quietly. The Stoic's identity is not dependent on the outside world. It is forged from within. Every toxic piece you let go of, create space for peace. You are not what they did to you. You are what you choose to become. Let the world wonder how you healed so silently, so powerfully, so completely. This is the Stoic way. And your next chapter begins now. Part 3. From Betrayal to Boundaries. 10 Stoic Lessons for Unshakable Confidence and Peace. You've faced betrayal. You felt the storm within. But now comes the rising. You don't just heal, you become. This is not about getting even. It's about becoming unshakable. The Stoic doesn't just survive heartbreak. They transmute it into clarity, discipline, boundaries. Welcome to Part 3. A guide to rebuild yourself from the inside out. 1. Embrace the power of boundaries. Love without boundaries is self-abandonment. You gave too much. You excused too much. But not anymore. Stoicism teaches. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Set boundaries not to push people away, but to protect your peace, your space, your standards. 2. Detach from the need to be liked. They won't always understand your healing. Some may say you've changed. Good. Let them go. The Stoic understands. Trying to please everyone is a betrayal of the self. You don't need to be liked. You need to be at peace. 3. Turn pain into discipline. Use it. Every tear, every lie, every sleepless night. Let it become fuel. For your fitness, your business, your evolution. Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Discipline is dignity. Rebuild your life so well that even your scars applaud. 4. Speak less. Observe more. In betrayal's aftermath, your mind races. You want to explain, to prove, to tell your side. But silence is power. The Stoic listens more than they speak. They watch. They study. They understand without reaction. Your growth doesn't need to be announced. 5. Practice emotional neutrality. When they text, when they flaunt their new life, don't react. Not because you don't care, but because your peace matters more than their chaos. Stoic power lies in control. Emotional neutrality is not numbness. It's mastery. 6. Make solitude a superpower. Most fear solitude, but the Stoic welcomes it. Because in solitude, you meet your true self. Without masks. Without distractions. Your peace doesn't come from others. It comes from within. Turn off the noise. Sit with yourself. There's power there. 7. Forgive, but never forget the lesson. Forgiveness is for you. To release the poison. But don't forget the lesson. The patterns. The signs. The Stoic doesn't hold grudges. But they hold wisdom. And they don't step into the same fire twice. 8. Own your role, without shame. Yes, they lied. Yes, they cheated. But ask yourself, what did you allow? What did you ignore? This isn't self-blame. This is self-accountability. Marcus Aurelius wrote, waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. Learn. Evolve. Rise. 9. Upgrade your standards, not just your guard. Guarding your heart is wise. But what's wiser is choosing better next time. Don't just build walls. Build discernment. Your peace is sacred, and only those who respect it deserve a seat at your table. 10. Become who you needed. You waited for someone to understand, to hold space, to see you. Now it's your turn. Become the safe space you always needed. The protector. The provider. The peace bringer. The Stoic way isn't about punishment. It's about transformation. Be who you needed, and more. Betrayal broke you open. But what grows now is unstoppable. This is your season of silence, of rebuilding, of rising. Let them doubt you. Let them forget you. Your peace will speak louder than your pain ever could. And when they remember you, it will be too late. You've already become someone they'll never reach again. Part 4. The Stoic Healing Blueprint. 10 Daily Habits to Build Emotional Strength After Heartbreak. You've been betrayed. You've bled in silence. You've burned it all to the ground. Now begins the real work. The daily work. Not of revenge, but of resurrection. This is your Stoic blueprint. 10 habits to rise every morning with quiet power, no matter what you've lost. 1. Wake before the world. Peace lives in the hours before the noise. Wake early. Before messages. Before memories. Before the world demands your energy. In the stillness, remind yourself, I survived. I'm still here. And I control how this day begins. The Stoic prepares while others sleep. 2. Make your bed with intention. Your outer world reflects your inner world. When you make your bed, you declare, I am in control, even if my heart feels messy. Small victories compound. Start with 1. Even Marcus Aurelius had a routine. Even emperors found strength in order. 3. Cold shower discipline. You want power? Step into discomfort. Start your day with a cold shower. It shocks the body, yes, but it awakens the mind. It says, I do not wait to feel strong, I choose strength. Discipline over dopamine. Always. 4. Stoic journaling. Every morning, ask yourself 3 things. What am I in control of today? What can I let go of? Who do I want to be, regardless of the past? This is not writing for others. This is writing to return to yourself. The Stoics journaled not for drama, but for clarity. 5. Move your body, move the pain. Emotion lives in the body. Betrayal gets stuck in the chest, in the stomach, in the fists. Move. Walk. Lift. Stretch. Let every rep be a silent scream of, I will not carry this pain forever. 6. Digital silence until after sunrise. Don't let your phone dictate your mood. Emails. Texts. They're social media. It's all noise. You need sacred time. Digital silence equals emotional clarity. Guard your mental gates like a fortress. No enemy gets in without permission. 7. Speak to no one before you speak to yourself. Don't start your day in conversation. Start it in connection with yourself. Stand in the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. Say, I'm proud of how far you've come. I don't chase, what leaves me wasn't mine. You become what you tell yourself. 8. High standard planning. Most drift through heartbreak. You design your days. Set intentions. Set times. Set consequences for slacking. Plan your healing like an architect. Because this is not survival, it's reconstruction. 9. The Stoic pause. Throughout the day, pause. Before replying. Before reacting. Before spiraling. Ask, is this in my control? Is this worth my peace? The Stoic doesn't rush. They respond with power, not panic. 10. Gratitude. Always. Especially now. Pain distorts focus. But even in pain, there is light. Every night, write 3 things you're grateful for. Even if it's just, I'm breathing. I'm trying. I didn't text them. Gratitude anchors you. It rewires you. It reminds you, you're still becoming.